WSMV4 News at 5 starts now with this breaking news alert.
Everything just exploded.
Zero visibility. We had a tree come through the house.
They lost more. We were fortunate.
So, but we will make it.
Yeah, we're gonna make it.
First at 5 tonight, heartbreak across Middle Tennessee. 6 people are dead. Dozens more were taken to the hospital after 13 tornadoes spun up across the state.
Tonight, we have live team coverage of the tornado outbreak. We'll take you back to the moments the storm came through and see how communities are coming together to rebuild. Thank you for joining us tonight at 5 o'clock. I'm Lydia Fielder.
I'm Lauren Lowry. Tonight, there are emergency shelters open all across Middle Tennessee. Thousands, tens of thousands of people still don't even have power.
3 people are dead in Clarksville. The National Weather Service says an EF3 tornado tore through the city. In Nashville, 3 more people are confirmed dead from a different tornado here.
We want to show you video of that storm. This is the storm as it moved through Madison. It killed 3 people on Nesbitt Lane. 2 young boys survived, but their parents sadly did not.
Homeowners in that neighborhood are returning to the devastation tonight, trying to salvage what they can from their destroyed homes.
We want to take you out to that neighborhood now, where our Marius Payton is leading our live team coverage tonight.
So Marius, we just heard from Governor Lee as he surveys the damage. What can you tell us from what he said tonight?
Well, Governor Lee left this very spot about 5 minutes ago. He talked about heartbreak from traveling around the areas in Clarksville and Hendersonville. He talked about heartbreak, but he also talked about hope, the hope when he saw Tennesseans gather together to help each other out. He spoke to some people right over my left shoulder. Those people lost everything. They said they had very little to start with, and now they're searching for what they can get out of that very little. He talked to them about the connections that they can make, so when they need something, they can come to him. He gave them their number. He took his number and gave it to them and said, call me. We will get you connected to the people. So it was about the hope that he saw. Let's listen to what he said.
Very emotional to do what we have done today. And then to cap it off, talking to someone who's lost everything that they have.
Now, right behind me is where 3 people lost their lives, one just a child. It was a very emotional time when I walked out here and saw what was going on. I got a chance to speak to some of the people who were here when it happened. They told me about the noises they heard and how a man, Mr. Dan from the home over here, ran over and helped lift a washer off a lady who was stuck in the home back here. So a very emotional time when we got out here and started to speak to some of the people who are now cleaning up after this storm has passed. We have live team coverage across Tennessee tonight talking about the devastation. Montgomery County was one of the hardest hit places. At least 3 people died there. The National Weather Service says they believe it was an EF3 tornado that hit. And this is what brought that tornado looked like as it moved through the city. We brought you this live on air during our severe weather coverage, and this happened yesterday. We want to get it back to Alexandria Adams. Alexandria Adams is in Nashville, where people huddled in a church to hide from the storm before it collapsed. And our Jordan James is in Clarksville, in the neighborhood where at least 1 person was killed. And our Dryden Quigley is in Hendersonville. That's another part of a town that suffered very severe and extensive damage there. But we're going to start with our Alexandria Adams, who's over on Dickerson Pike right now. And you spoke with a member, Alexandria, of a church that collapsed.
Yeah, Marius, you would never know that a church and their community center were right behind me, completely decimated. I spoke with Karen Huey, who was inside of that church with 12 other members just about 24 hours ago, all trapped inside as that building came down on them. I want you to take a close look at your screen right now of what remains of Community Baptist Church and their life center right next door to the church. Again, both destroyed. Those church members were there to celebrate their pastor at a banquet at the time, and just 15 minutes into that celebration, a tornado tears through.
We didn't even get to touch the salad. Because as soon as the lady put the salad down, they were pouring tea. That's the only thing I remember. I looked up, it wasn't no roof. I looked sideways, it wasn't no walls.
And Miss Huey tells me that another member had a large piece of iron fall onto her. Now, some of those people, some of those church members were taken to the hospital, but most of them made it out with just bruises and some cuts. And we do know that Miss Huey is crediting her faith for getting them through this all alive and out safely. But tonight, right after the football game around 10:30, you're going to hear the one thing that Miss Huey hopes that is returned back to that church. Reporting live in Madison, I'm Alexandria Adams, WSMV 4.
Alexandria, thank you. A lot of people are talking about faith, and that's what got them through this storm. You know, we want to take you to Hendersonville now. A WSMV viewer sent us this video this morning of the tornado moving through Hendersonville. That tornado, they say it was on I-65 South, and they watched it roll into the city. Look how massive that tornado is, and you could see explosions going off of there too. We want to get you to our Dryden Quigley, who joins us live from Hendersonville tonight. And Dryden, most of the city there is still without power right now.
Oh, absolutely, Marius. We are still in the dark over here. We are looking at what is left of Jolly Ollie's Pizza. They are a beloved establishment that has been here for 13 years. Now, this is what's left of it over here. 30 people were inside when the roof came literally flying off. Luckily, they were all able to make it to the basement. What used to be a fun outdoor restaurant space is now completely destroyed. The owner, Delia Knight, said if it wasn't for quick thinking employees, more lives could have been lost. Knight had just gone to Sam's Club and was there when the tornado hit. She said that someone looked at her and said, "Do you work at Jolly's?" And she said, "Yeah, I own it." And they said, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry, but a tornado has hit the restaurant." Now, since we've been here, we've seen at least 20 people coming, all different kinds of volunteers. She said many of them were strangers coming to help. They brought a dump truck. They brought a claw machine to help, kind of bring some of the stuff together. And then someone was actually passing out ice cream, too, to all the people. Live here in Hendersonville, Dryden Quigley, WSMV 4.
Dryden, thank you so much. We have a lot of stories that we can tell from out here. I had a chance to speak to a man whose mom lives in the home over here. She was actually in the flooding that happened in Antioch a few years back, and she left there to come here only to have this happen right now. It tore all of her neighbors. A few of her neighbors died in the storm, so we're going to try to talk to her later on. But for right now, we're going to send it back to the studio with Lauren and Lydia. And guys, this is incredible. I watched it from the studio yesterday, but just being out here, it's completely different.
Yeah, you see all of the damage. Marius, I know you've covered tornadoes before, and it never stops taking your breath away when you see just the sheer power of nature. All right, so Marius Payton, that reporting live there for us tonight. Let's take a minute to check on power outages right now.
Yeah, NES has more than 23,000, mostly in Madison and Hendersonville. There's about 11,000 more in Clarksville. And explosions like these are a big reason why you see those electric bursts in this video. We know an NES substation was destroyed in Madison. That caused explosions, again, like this one, sending those big fireballs into the air.
It's just terrifying. There's also going to be several schools totally closed tomorrow as their communities clean up all the damage. So Montgomery County schools will be closed Monday and Tuesday. Sumner County schools will be closed tomorrow. They still haven't made a decision for Tuesday, but we'll certainly be reporting that to you.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we're going to show you this jaw-dropping new video from Madison showing the massive tornado tearing through Nashville, actually forming and then hitting the ground.
Plus, we'll meet back up with Marius on Nesbitt Lane to hear from neighbors there walking us through what they saw and experienced last night.
And that severe weather threat is long gone at this time. Now the cold is going to move in. Get ready for below freezing temperatures tonight. I'll let you know what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in your extended forecast.
Get a refrigerator with a... Still working on your Christmas list? Hurry into Electronic Express for the hottest gifts. Our convenient locations have great deals on all of your favorite brands like Samsung, LG, Apple, Sony, and more. At Electronic Express, save up to 40% in every department. 4K TVs, computers, appliances, housewares, gaming, and more. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Wrap up your Christmas shopping at Electronic Express. we make Christmas happen.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
It's one of the most painful things that's ever happened to me. I really didn't know, like, is this it? Like, is this gonna be it? You guys have been around for such a long time and you have a reputation in the community. The settlement that was, achieved helped me pay off all my debt. It's like the start of a new life. I would never have been able to achieve that outcome on my own.
Fortunately, it worked out the best that it possibly could.
Hey everybody, it's this 3-5-day guarantee yours free. It's hockey season, you know what time it is. It ain't just pumpkin spice. It's Benjamin's time to give away some deals. Crystal Ice, 15% off with this ad. Macchiato, 15% off with this ad. Colacata Aspen, $85 a foot, $75 a foot with this ad. You looking for some natural stones? How about Black Pearl Leather? Very popular, 15% off with this ad. Slide on down to Eurostone, come see these deals. 805 Northwest Broad Street. Come and see me, baby.
Okay, check this out here. We've got some brand new video. This is from a WSMV4 viewer, and it shows the moments that tornado in Madison fully formed and reached the ground. You see it just reaching down, the funnel that's poking out of that storm, out of the clouds. It starts dropping down toward the ground before it reaches and then tears through the city. And we've got breaking news as it deals with that particular tornado tonight. National Weather Service is saying this was a preliminary EF2 tornado.
It had max winds, the National Weather Service is saying, of 125 miles per hour. They say also that tornado was 400 yards wide. We want to thank Ben Fisher for sending this video into our newsroom. You see those explosions there. Again, many different angles. We've been seeing that over the last 24 hours. He says this was over towards North Graycroft Avenue near the Madison Lows.
Now, we do believe this is the same tornado that left 3 people dead in Madison, specifically on Nesbitt Lane.
We want to get back out to our Marius Payton, who's right there in the area where neighbors, Marius, are now just working to get back on their feet.
Yeah, they are working hard to get back on their feet. The sun has gone down, so it's kind of dark out here. A lot of the people that live here have gone for the day, but earlier you could see they had trucks backed up trying to find what they could of everything they had, pack it up, put them in the back of these trucks, and then try to find somewhere else to stay. Behind me is the place where 3 people lost their lives. You can see right there a stairway to nowhere. The house that was there is now gone. I had a chance to talk to one of the men who was in that house, and I asked him, I said, how are you alive right now? And he looked at me, and his face was glazed over, and he just shook his head and said, I don't know. There's a ton of stories out here from Nesbitt Lane just like that, and we want you to listen to another one.
The roof fell in, and she was in her bed, and it hit her on her head, and they had to take her to the... First, they had to cut her out. The fire department had to cut her out of there, and they got her to the hospital, and she went to the ER, and they held her overnight for observations.
And all of a sudden, I heard this howling, and I could feel the wind, and I knew it was coming. We ran in the bathroom. I sat on the floor with my puppy. My husband came in there, and as I sat down, I could feel the wind, and I felt like I was in the middle of inside a train.
Yeah, I had a chance to walk down the street down here too, and there was a roof blown off, and you could see the room where it was someone's bedroom. That bed was still intact. Nesbitt Lane has been devastated. Another place that's been devastated, Montgomery County, one of the hardest hit places. At least 3 people also died there. The National Weather Service says they believe it was an EF3 tornado that hit there. Now, this is what that tornado looked like as it moved through the city. We saw yesterday live on air during that severe weather coverage how massive that tornado was. Our Jordan James was there then, and he is back out in Clarksville today. He's on Henry Place, where at least 1 person was killed there.
It's been an emotional day for many in this community, but especially for those along Henry Place Boulevard following Saturday's tornado, which wreaked havoc, wiping away years of memories in a matter of minutes. In the city of Clarksville, nearly 700 structures have reportedly been damaged by the EF3 tornado, which ended up costing 3 people their lives, including a child, and injuries to dozens of others. Since the storm passed, recovery efforts have been underway for those who've lost everything. This outcome is especially painful.
You hear about tornadoes and you hear the sirens and you say, okay, yeah, you don't expect it to hit you. You don't expect it to hit your house. You don't expect it to hit your neighbors. You don't expect your neighbors to not make it. And it's like a dream, and right now we're still going through it.
Coming up on the news at 10, we'll have more on the stories of survival and how this community is banding together during this difficult time. Reporting here in Clarksville, Jordan James, WSMV4.
Jordan, thank you so much. We want to take you back out to Clarksville, which saw some of the worst damage from anywhere in the mid-state. Our Courtney Allen joins us there live. And Courtney, it's been a day since those tornadoes. How is that community coming together?
Well, Marius, I want people at home to take a look at the base of this massive tree that's fallen onto a church building here in Clarksville. Take a look inside of the church building. You can see an American flag still standing amongst all the rubble, amongst the bricks. And if we walk a little bit further down, because I want you to get an idea of the extent of the full damage to this church building, you can see the red roof here caved in. And if you look a little bit further, you can still see that, again, amongst the rubble, the pulpit here is still standing. Now, this building is just one of many destroyed or damaged homes along Britton Springs Road in Clarksville. There are so many downed trees, so many downed power lines. Linemen have been working since 8 o'clock this morning, specifically on this road, trying to restore power. And they tell me, despite their best efforts, power will not be back on tonight. They could not give us a timeline for when it would return. So people who live along this road say that they are staying elsewhere tonight, telling me that the storm, the damage, it all came through in just a matter of minutes.
Really, it's not like anything you see on TV. It felt like 5 minutes. It was done. It just, loud, just loud.
And what's notable is that buildings like the one behind me are destroyed, but just a few feet away, homes that are right next door are untouched. And that's really the story of this community that we have seen this evening, that the damage, the devastation, it's hit or miss. It's in pockets. So we're going to continue to stay out here, survey the damage. We're going to different neighborhoods, different streets. We'll tell you, we'll show you what we find tonight at 10. Marius.
Courtney Allen, thank you so much. And I want to give you guys a glimpse of the damage that we have here. We had the governor come here, but he was supposed to be here at 4 o'clock. He was running late because he couldn't get here. Down the street here, there were poles down. There were power lines down. The governor and the first lady and his entourage had to walk. It had to be close to a half a mile just to get to this spot because cars could not get here. There was a train that was running that was stopped, so he had to walk this way, and it was a brutal walk with the power lines down and everything was down. But they got to see firsthand how destroyed this place has been right here on Nesbitt Lane. Guys, coming up at 10 o'clock, we're going to have more stories from Nesbitt Lane and what these people are trying to do to get back on their feet.
All right, Marius Payton reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Tonight, we're seeing a lot of new video and pictures showing the tornado move through Middle Tennessee and then all the devastation it left behind after.
We know Springfield got hit hard yesterday. We have video we want to show you from Smoky Barn News showing the moments that tornado came into town. You can see it here. Look how powerful that main funnel is. Okay, so this is crazy. Off to the left of that funnel you saw there, it was a second funnel orbiting that tornado.
Oh my. Yeah, so okay, here's some of the pictures from East Campbell Road. It's another neighborhood in Madison over near that NES substation that exploded.
There is also just horrible damage at Fort Campbell tonight. This is what it looked like yesterday outside of Gate 1 at Fort Campbell in Clarksville, just moments after that tornado came through. You can see cars tossed around like toys, buildings just destroyed.
Wow.
A damage report in Clarksville shows 91 structures were totally destroyed. 271 more suffered enough damage that they're uninhabitable.
We do want to remind you that there are a few shelters open right now. In Clarksville, the Red Cross has one open at Northeast High School on Trenton Road. Mosaic Church is also offering a shelter. So is Manna Cafe Ministries, Transformation Title and Escrow, and Church of Christ at Trenton Crossing. And in Springfield, the center at 401 North Main is providing shelter. In Madison, the Madison Community Center is helping. And in Hendersonville, you can go to Cornerstone for help.
Okay, we want to get to your weather today now because obviously those storms and thankfully have passed.
Meteorologist Cruz Medina is with us right now. Cruz, you spent hours on the air giving us all the coverage we needed yesterday. So first of all, thank you for that and the entire First Alert team. Let's talk about what comes in now because it's significantly cooler.
Yeah, it really is, which is bad news for any folks that are displaced. So I'm glad that we had the info on different shelters and places for people to go because you certainly don't want to be outside tonight with temperatures falling into the 20s all across the mid-state. It's going to be a cold week in general, especially in the mornings. Temperatures, we're talking below freezing to start out the week, and then we will see those temperatures gradually rise as we go toward this weekend, at least for the morning temperatures, but still frost or a freeze is possible just about every morning. And I'm going to see if we can get the prompter flipped here so I can see my graphics. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so First Alert Live Radar. Before we get into the rest of the forecast, I want to take a look back at yesterday. We've obviously been talking about this outbreak a lot. Let me set the scene for you here. We had so many reports yesterday. The H's here, those are going to be hail. The T's, those are going to be tornadoes. And what I was analyzing here is there's some continuity with these storms. So these were supercell thunderstorms. Those can cycle tornadoes, meaning they might lift in one place and then drop again in another. And I think that's exactly what we had yesterday. So that preliminary rated EF3 tornado that went through Montgomery County, just to the north of Clarksville, that likely was the same tornado. Matter of fact, we know that it was a long track tornado that continued into Todd and Logan counties in Kentucky. Those areas rated an EF2. We will see what the official survey says. I expect that a little later in this upcoming week. We also had the one that moved through northern Dixon County into western Cheatham County. The Davidson County tornado, this started in Madison, moved through Hendersonville and Gallatin. This also moved through, and then we had the Robertson County Springfield tornado. So obviously lots of damage to survey. Please be patient with us. We'll get those survey results to you as soon as we get them. But know that the culprit for all of that severe weather is well off to our east. This cold front has actually spawned tornadoes in North Carolina today, but that is well away from us. It's going to be quiet, so you can rest easy tonight knowing that we don't have any more severe weather in the forecast. Temperature-wise, right now we are seeing lots of 30s across the mid-state, 39 for Lebanon, Nashville, and Franklin. We've got 40s back to the west, but the skies are clearing out. That's going to allow temperatures to get very cold tonight. So this is what I was alluding to. Temperatures are going to drop into the 20s, widespread across the mid-state. That is a hard freeze. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning. You're going to need your jacket as you step out the door. And I'm not talking about the little jacket. I'm talking the big, thick winter jacket is what you're going to need. So here you go, waking up, lots of 20s. Look at Crossville, 26, 28, and Nashville and Murfreesboro as you start your day. Through the afternoon, it's really not going to be all that warm. So we're talking middle to upper 40s, maybe a spot or two back here in the southwest corner hits 50, but generally it's going to be a cold day. We've got plenty of sunshine. Once again, the severe weather threat is long gone. So just to recap, you'll need the jacket. Parents, if your kids have to wait at the bus stop, please send them out with a thick jacket, some gloves, a winter hat. They're going to need it all tomorrow. And possibly we'll need it through the afternoon, too, with those highs only making it into the middle upper 40s with plenty of sunshine. Looking beyond that, we see temperatures warm up pretty quickly. So it's not going to be the warmest week, but we will at least be near average just about each day after we get through tomorrow. So Tuesday and beyond, we're talking middle to upper 50s. What has changed here is this upcoming weekend. It looks like a storm system could stay just to our south. I'm not discounting the fact there could be a stray shower or two on Saturday and Sunday. Temperature-wise, it looks the same as the rest of the week with those middle to upper 50s. And we'll see how that rain chance goes as we go throughout the rest of this week. And of course, we'll keep you updated right here on WSMV 4. Hey, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Why is just a starting line? For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.
Hey everybody, it's the Street 5-Day Guarantee Yours Free. It's hockey season, you know what time it is. It ain't just pumpkin spice. It's Benjamin's time to give away some deals. Crystal Ice, 15% off with this ad. Macchiato, 15% off with this ad. Calacatta Aspen, $85 a foot, $75 a foot with this ad. You looking for some natural stone? How about Black Pearl Leather? Very popular, 15% off with this ad. Slide on down to Eurostone, come see these deals. 805 Northwest Broad Street. Come and see me, baby.
Hi, I'm Lisa Spencer, and I'm inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me on an Alaska and Inside Passage cruise, May 31st to June 12th. Our journey begins with a 3-night Inside Passage cruise. Then we take our tour inland, where we make notable stops at the Iditarod Trail headquarters and Denali National Park. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword Nashville, for more information.
Okay, before we go tonight, we do want to leave you with just a final recap of what we know in the aftermath of this tornado outbreak right now. Governor Bill Lee has torn the damage left behind after this breakout in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, 6 people were killed. 13 tornadoes spun up all across the state. Preliminary reports show the storm that tore through Clarksville was an EF3. The one in Madison was an EF2.
Right now, there is a state of emergency in Nashville and Clarksville as the cleanup is just beginning. More than 30,000 people are still without power. Crews working around the clock until everything is back.
Thanks for joining us here tonight.
We'll be right back here after Sunday Night Football with the latest.
Why is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick, below the surface. Our reason why is united, undivided, seeking understanding. My why is diversity in unity, a safe space in my community. It's a million faces in a mirror, and everyone belongs. Find your why for a better us.